Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. It is such a joy to be back here again. I can't believe we're in season 4, living life by design, not by default. And here we are in a fresh start, a miracle morning, as Hal Elrod would call it. I hope you really enjoyed the elevated evening because that's where our day starts. It starts as we prepare the night before. So if we want to have a fantastic day, or a start, start strong, start fresh, be on fire. The key is actually the night before. So I encourage you, if you haven't listened to Elevated Evening, pop back into last week's session and have a listen to it. But today, having done our evening routine, having set ourselves up for success, having been ready to get going, here we are. I'm going to share with you what I do in my mornings. And the mornings that I set up and do this, everything, it pumps. The days that I miss a few bits out, the days are great, but they're not miracles. They're not like boom. So we want to be pumping and living life by design intentionally. I'm a personal alignment coach because getting into alignment with what is best for us fills us with so much joy. So the first thing, we hand over the night before to God. We hand over all the stuff, all the gongosmos, anything I don't have the answers to. I make sure that I go to bed at night peaceful, restful, full of the joys, so that I can wake up in the morning with no worries, no anxiety, no stress, no guilt, no shame. No, I've dealt with that and I've given it to God and I've asked Him for answers. I've asked for insight. So that's all been done the night before, which means I get a beautiful night's sleep. The first thing I need to do in the morning, because that mind over mattress is a shocker for me. I could happily lie in bed. I couldn't happily lie in bed all day, but getting out of bed in the morning has always been a massive challenge. Staying up late at night, not a problem, but getting up in the morning, oh my goodness, please, can someone else do that for me? But actually, no, I have to do it for myself. So get up and get moving. That's how I do it. I have to get up and get moving, whether it's getting dressed, whether it's brushing my teeth, whether it's drinking my glass of water, but I have to physically move, do some stretches, do some fist pumps, whatever it is that I need to do in my morning, but get moving. The moment I start moving, my day starts to fall. Some people go to the gym. I think that's fantastic. It's not really my gig, I have to say. Walk the dog, bring it on. And what I find is I've got 3, then another 3. So my first 3 are hydrate, 250 mils, because you know what? That's another thing I found really challenging is drinking enough water. 90% of our body mass is water. And if we don't literally hydrate, we're draining our brains and our bones and our physical bodies of what it really needs to nourish it. And so for me, having a glass of water, thanks Teresa Kowalczyk, she got me into this amazing habit. Right next to the glass is ready to go, right next to like literally next to my toothbrush. Because if I've got to actually pour the water, I don't do it, even if the glass is there. So I've made it super easy, less than 2 seconds. They say less than 8, but for me, I think it's got to be less than 2. I'm so impatient. So glass of water, right next to my toothbrush, brilliant, boom, done. Refill it, ready for the evening. Boom, done. So that's 500 mils of my 2 litres or 2.5 litres a day done, just morning and night. Fun, flippin' tastic. I love starting well. So hydrate first, and then physical activity. Could be walking the dog, it could be going to the gym, it could be swimming, it could be whatever, it could be doing stretches, yoga, whatever it is for you. Get moving. Now, the joy of this is I can listen to a podcast. I can listen to the Bible. I can get my instruction from hearing while I'm at the gym or while I'm walking the dog. And quite often I put one ear in so I can hear the Bible and I'm listening to that. But I'm also, when I'm walking the dog, I'm listening to nature. I'm listening. I'm very present. I'm very aware of how my body feels. I'm very aware of the environment around me. It grounds me, it roots me into my day. So I'm ready to get going. So those are my three that I start with: hydrate, physical activity, listening, reading, getting the instructions, getting the information, boom, 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 so I can be set for my day. And then the next three is where I pause. So I've gone, let's get going. And then I just rest. There's no rush. And I wake up early. So I make sure that I wake up early in the morning, so that it might be an hour, 2 hours before people even start their days, before actually it's 2 hours at least before the before the busyness of my day, 2 before I have breakfast potentially with my husband. So it's like, let's get up, and while it's quiet, while there's no distractions, and let me just have a moment's peace. And then, having done what I've already done, I then do my journaling. I sit and I write out. Sometimes I'm just hearing from God and He's giving me something for the day. He's answering a question that I asked last night or earlier last week. But He's often showing me something. He's talking to me. He's showing me what I've been listening to in the Bible. There was something that popped and I want to journal it. I don't want to forget about it. I want to write it down. It is written. When we write things down, something physically happens in our brains to help us remember. I don't want to forget the flipping wisdom and insight that I get. I want to be able to receive it. And for me to receive it, I often have to write it down. Because if I don't write it down, it's in one ear and out the other for me. So it is written, so I journal it, I write things down, and then I can go back to them, I can refer to them. Do you know what? I got an absolutely brilliant tip from Graham Cook, unsurprising, brilliant perspectives, but it was amazing to actually put your notes, so leave your first 4 pages in your journal, just leave them blank and then literally write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because it's a notebook, really. Just put the numbers at the top of the pages in your notebook. It's amazing. And then, as you're writing stuff down, you can go and write the index as you're filling up your journal. Which means when you then want to go and refer to something, now what did I do about morning and evening routines? Where did I write those notes? I go to my index and I haven't got to go through the whole flipping journal to find it. Sorry, that is just like, that was like, this is brilliant. I have hundreds of journals. Actually, no, that's an exaggeration. I've got about probably 60 journals. And if I had known that before I started writing journals, it would have made me so much easier to find those amazing gold nuggets, that treasure that I often write down that I want to go back and refer to. Anyway, that was a bit of a sideline. And then I declare the goodness of God over me, or I declare I am healed, I am whole, I am whatever I am for my day. I'm wise. Do you know what? I really want to be wise and insightful. So I declare I'm wise and insightful, because Dr. Benjamin Hardy talks about prospection. When we speak it out, when we say it, we literally because what we do, so out of our hearts, we've talked about this before, out of our hearts, our mouths speak. Okay, so I'm going to declare I'm wise and insightful, because in my heart, I really want to be clever, like have the right words for the right person at the right time, would be flipping gold, so that we can encourage, we can empower, we can lift each other up. You know, because there's enough rubbish in the day. Let's get rid of it. We don't want the default stuff. We want the design stuff. So I've lost track slightly. So out of our heart, our mouth speaks. And then we learn from hearing. We inform our brains. Our brains are listening all the time to what we say. So the beauty of declarations, and I coach this when I'm coaching people, it's one of the things that I do in my foundational, comes into the intentional living, intentional careers, it comes into the life skills toolbox. We've got to declare who we are. You know, I am, who are you? And for many of us who hang out with Jesus or hang out with God, who are you in Christ? What is your identity? I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Or if you're not quite in the God box yet, in other words, you don't live in this space yet, that's cool. I'm uniquely designed to be brilliant, because I believe every single one of us is uniquely designed to be brilliant. We've all got something each one of us has something that no one else has. And each one of us, if we just played our part, if we just ran in our lane with others in their lanes, you know what? We'd all win. And actually, crack up. This week, slightly digressing here, but it's to do with declarations. This week, I believe collaboration will always get us more than competition. When we work together in unity and one accord, we will always achieve more together. Everyone achieves more. That's team. And when we're competing all the time, we're so busy in our own selves that we actually stuff it up. So when you get a team full of individuals, they never win the game. Anyway, this week at tennis was cracker. We had two teams either end, and it's tennis aerobics, so it's not a proper tennis game. But we'd played a drill, and one team had won 2 games and the other team had won 2 games, and it was home time. And one of the people said, "Oh my goodness, can we just play another game?" I'm like, "Why? We've finished and we're all winners." They said, "But no one's won." I said, "We've both won because we've drawn." And he's like, no, we have to win. I said, "All right, let's do this." So the coach was up for it. So it was like, "Right, let's do it." And I said, "Right, let's see if the collaborators or the competitors win." And sure enough, the collaborators won. So that person, instead of winning, technically, actually, in his perspective, went home a loser because we won. It was like, why didn't you just take it when it was given to you? Anyway, that's just a sideline. But you know what? We've got to declare who we are. What are we made for? So for me, it's wisdom, insight. It's about being the best I can be. It's about being in alignment. If my heart and my mind are in alignment with Christ, then I am being the best I could possibly be. And I'm living life by design. I'm living life the way I was designed before I was even in my mother's womb. It's nuts, this stuff, but it's absolutely brilliant. Anyway, okay, so first 3 were hydrate, physical activity, reading. The second 3, silence, start and rest in peace, journal, write it down, and declare, speak the goodness of life over you. Speak healing, speak the goodness. I love it. And the 7th one, by the way, 7 is number of perfection or heaven, so that wraps it up, is to taste and see that the Lord is good. And that is visualizing my day, looking ahead, thinking about, praying about the people I'm going to be with, the people I'm coaching, the sessions I've got, the radio show, the YouTube channel, right here, right now. How is that going to look? What am I going to share? What is it, God, that you want me to bring to the table? So it's visualizing, and I picture how my day's going to go, who I'm going to see, what those interactions are with, how they're going to pan out. It's so much fun. So I get to taste and see my day before I even live it. It's brilliant. So I suggest you give it a go. And then the reality is, once I've done that in the morning, by 7 o'clock, I am ready for my new beginning. I am ready because number 8 is actually the number for new beginnings. So I'm ready to go into my new day fresh every morning for a new day, a new opportunity to look into my future and let my future and what's ahead of me define me, not what's behind me. So many people live past, present. They live on what's happened. Oh, I can't do this because of that. I can't do this because of that. They're looking backwards. Start looking forwards, and look forwards and have a miracle day. So life for me is about cycles, routines, and habits. What muscles are you flexing? What heart muscles are you flexing? What spiritual muscles are you flexing? So I encourage you to just consider, what are you doing with your day for your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit? Because quite frankly, you can put them into 4 compartments, but we're all one. We're all one person. We don't suddenly walk out without our arms or our legs or something. We're all one. So what are you doing that allows you to be brilliant? Are all the habits you do each day, do they build you? Do they lift you? Do they empower you? Do they elevate you? Are you making yourself physically strong and spiritually strong so that each day you can go out a complete powerhouse of goodness and kindness and love and gentleness, knowing that you're the best you can be? Or are you doing some things that break you down? And for those of you who know me well, food, I love food. And sometimes I don't make good nutritional choices. I'm much better, Teresa. I'm getting back on track. I know what the choices are and I'm choosing those. Occasionally, I'll do something that's unhelpful, like eat apple crumble or whatever it might be. However, getting those routines, and you know what, if something's breaking you down, if it's not, I know a friend who's given up the vape recently. I know a friend who's realized that alcohol is unhelpful for her. It actually depresses her because that's what it is. It's a depressant. So no wonder she feels rubbish when she has a glass of wine or whatever it might be. Anyway, so it's all about exchanging those things that don't build us, saying unkind words, because you're informing your brain that's who it is. And especially when you talk about somebody else, because then you're gossiping and that gossip becomes what you think. And actually, it becomes who you are. It's really unhelpful. So just have a think about what you're doing. And I encourage you to make The Great Exchange. It's a fabulous book, by the way, if ever you need to buy it. For those who are not serving you well. So exchange those habits that are not serving you well and live life by design, not by default. It's about having your best life every moment of every day. So I love you. God bless you. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know for some tips. Let me know the one thing that you're going to take away from today's share. I love you. God bless you. Thank you, as always, for spending time with me.